A pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to Nerf Secrets Revealed Aftersought. Now, of course, as I've said countless times, there's a lot that I'm going to be talking about. And as such, this is where I bring to you another Mega Blaster. Except, unlike many of the others, or let's just say many of the other blasters that I've already talked about, it transforms into a different mode. This is the Mega AccuStrike Bulldog, and of course I'd say it's a Mega AccuStrike because, well, if you look on this side of it specifically, both the Mega placard and the AccuStrike placard, they're both shown on this side of the blaster. There's also the appearance of the embossed Mega placard on this side, except it's in line with the blaster's original color, which is a nice red in a way. But anyways, this blaster is honestly, it's not like many that I've already talked about here because, after all, it's basically got itself a basic plunger rod sort of firing system on it, and the barrels can hold up to 3 darts, of course. And not to mention, you could store an extra 3 darts here on the side thanks to this little attachment, which can store an extra 3 Mega darts, or Mega AccuStrike darts if you will. I've talked about the Megalodon quite some time ago. And wow, that thing was a huge stress boat to handle. Especially with its huge, bulky size, combined with its strange ergonomic and the strange choice for priming. I mean, who would use a top handle to prime a blaster? Well, anyways, the Bulldog here, it works a lot differently because, after all, unlike the Megalodon, it easily fires Mega AccuStrike darts without any questions asked. And I will say for sure that being that this is in fact meant to be much of a more modern sort of deploy, yeah, if you remember that blaster, a lot of people hated the N-Strike deploy from way back in the day. But now, here we got much more recent times with the Mega AccuStrike Bulldog, of course, but honestly, I don't really know too much to say here. Although, it's time for Invisible test just to see if it does any better here. I'd say that's kind of average, actually. It kind of gives it sort of like a really tiny rifle in a way. It's not necessarily as large as one in general, but I don't really see much else that I could say about this one. This is just kind of an average choice, but being that it utilizes its own deploy sort of function, and it also tends to be very compact in this size. I mean, the deploy, when it's in its most compact form, I suppose, it does in fact appear to be somewhat and around this size, because when you open it up, it automatically deploys. But this one, you have to deploy manually, just so you can get it to work at the same way possible. So, of course, the deploying action doesn't really do much to affect the performance overall. You could just hold it in like this and just use it like this. So, unlike the deploy, where you can't really use it at all because how the grip folds into the blaster, and as such you can't really use it when it's in its compact form, but this you can actually use it while it's all the way folded in, like so. So, that's pretty much what I can say about the Bulldog itself. So, like I said, it's average, so it gets a kind of a middle of the road score, like a 5.4, I guess. 5.4, I guess, is what suits it the most to me, because honestly, I don't really know much else to say about the Bulldog itself. It kind of rips off the deploy in many ways, but it tends to be a lot better because even if it's in its most compact form, you can still use it, regardless of what position the foregrip and the stock and the flip-up sight is, because, yeah. Just like with the AccuStrike Raptor Strike, it has its own flip-up sight. That's kind of a permanent part of it. Although, the way I see it, this actually comes off quite easily, depending on how rough you play with this. So yeah, right now it just snapped back into place, so it's good for now, but you kind of have to worry about what could happen if it might fall off of the blaster at some point, if it's been dropped on the floor, or if you pull it off intentionally. I guess no matter what you do with it, it kind of behaves differently depending on how you act towards it. Well, anyways, the Bulldog is a 5.4 to me. Its action is pretty good, and I really can't really say if it's supposed to be a great blaster, because not everybody is very, like, agreeable when it comes to the usage of certain blaster functions. And because this thing rips off the deploy in a lot of ways, I don't really know if it's like the same amount of reviews as other people would probably have against this one compared to the deploy, which a lot of people have hated for plenty of reasons here. But anyways, that's pretty much all I got to talk about in the Bulldog. So if you want to see more, go down to my channel. Make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.